everyone and welcome to another beautiful day in Paris. Today I have something really exciting planned. So basically, since it's getting colder as the months go by, you know, it's the end of October now, the nights are drawing in, it's getting to that season where I'm craving coziness, and coziness particularly in the form of a classic Parisian hot chocolate. Okay, before I came to Paris, I used to see loads of pictures on Instagram all the time of those really thick cups of hot chocolate in Paris that look like cups of melted chocolate, and I always wanted to try one and I haven't yet. So I thought, today it's cold, it's a bit chilly, so it's as good a day as any to try one. And I was looking online searching where are the best hot chocolates in Paris, and one that came up quite a lot was Angelina's, which is a cafe slash tea room on Rue de Rivoli, I think it's called. It's right next to the Jardin des Tuileries. So I'm going to walk there now and see. Hopefully you don't need to reserve a table to go. I'm just going to turn up and hope that I can get a table and try a hot chocolate. And of course I'm going to take you along with me and show you what it's like. I'm really looking forward to it. The pictures online made them look really, really good. So I'm hoping that they're going to be good. I read a review online somewhere that said that the hot chocolate is so thick you need to eat it with a spoon, and to be honest that just sums up like my ideal hot chocolate, so I'm really looking forward to it. And without further ado, let's go. So since it's quite a fancy place, I've got my silk scarf on because I need to look the part to go to a fancy cafe in Paris. And yeah, I quite like this outfit. I've never worn it before. I have to wear it more often. So let's go.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Angelina was founded in 1903 by the confectioner Anton Rumpelmayer with his son René at 226 Rue de Rivoli, and named the tea house after his daughter-in-law. The location's beauty and elegance, along with their skill and expertise to produce the highest quality pastries, meant that Angelina soon became the place to be amongst the elite. Proust, Coco Chanel and the biggest French fashion designers gathered in the famous tea room. Today the location is popular amongst Parisians and tourists alike, who queue to taste their signature pastry, the Mont Blanc, and the famous hot chocolate known as l'Africain. I tried both of them while I was there, and I can confirm that they were amazing. The Mont Blanc was created by Anton Rumpelmayer during the early 20th century. Its distinctive shape was inspired by the very popular long bob haircut that women wore at the time. The Mont Blanc contains a layer of meringue topped with light whipped cream and chestnut paste vermicelli, a delightful combination that is entirely unique and unlike any dessert I have had before. The famous African hot chocolate takes its name from its composition, which constitutes carefully selected kinds of African cocoa from Niger, Ghana and the Côte d'Ivoire. The secret recipe for this chocolate mix is specially put together for Angelina and has remained a secret for over 100 years, but they do sell it in their boutique if you want to make it at home. You all know that I came here seeking the best hot chocolate in Paris, and I can confirm that I found it. It was rich, thick, creamy. I loved it. Trying the hot chocolate at Angelina is something you simply must do during a trip to Paris, if not just for the experience and to admire the stunning interiors of the tea house. So I've decided to come on a little walk along the Seine since the weather is so lovely, and I feel a bit sick after that hot chocolate because it was so rich and sickly, so I'm just trying to burn it off and clear my stomach a bit. So yeah, this is just what the doctor ordered. It's moments like these that I just feel so lucky to be living in Paris, because what best place to go for a walk? I mean, this is just the dream. Yeah, I feel very, very grateful.
Oh, I'm slipping away So don't let me go, nah, 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 nah. I'm all up in that love haze. So where do we go now, now? Just let me know that I am safe here in your arms. I wanna stay, stay. I'm slipping away, so don't let me go now. Your love is exceptional. It fills me up. It's out of control, out of control. Oh baby, I love the rush. It overflows. It's out of control, out of control. I'm in love. I'm in love. Yeah. I'm slipping away. Yeah. Just like I am dreaming, walking around in this love haze. I wanna stay in this feeling, but let me know that I am safe here in your arms. I wanna stay, stay.
Arrête.
So as you can tell, it's another day. I was editing the footage from when I went to Angelina's and I realised that I never finished that vlog off, so it just ends after I go for a walk in the Jardin des Tuileries. But basically, I highly recommend going to Angelina if you visit Paris, because it's not just about the quality of the products there, but just the experience in general. It's an expensive place, but you're paying for the experience. The location is so beautiful. The tea house is stunning inside. The interiors are just to die for, and it's got paintings on the wall that are all original, kind of impressionist style paintings, which is very impressive in itself. And the fact that Coco Chanel used to go there regularly, table 45 was her table, so if you're there, you know, you can look out for it and just imagine the people that used to visit, the sort of crowds that used to draw. And even today it draws quite a high profile crowd. You can tell when you're there that the people there are quite, you know, wealthy people, and it's got that atmosphere that's very unique. When I was there was a dog at the table next to me. The person who went there had a fluffy cream-coloured Pomeranian that was sitting on his lap, and I'm a dog lover, so that just made the experience even better. And it seemed like the guy was on a breakfast date with his dog, because as he was eating his croissant, every now and then he'd give his dog a bite as well, which was really cute. But it was a great day and I really enjoyed it. And the hot chocolate, I can confirm it is incredible. It's the best hot chocolate I've ever had. Very thick, very creamy. You just need to go and try it basically. So head to Angelina when you visit Paris. So I thought for the rest of the video I would do a little Q&A. I asked on my Instagram for you guys to send me questions, because I thought after, you know, a while of creating videos, you might have some questions to ask me, things you want to find out. So I have a list of questions on my phone which I prepared. So the first question is, where are you from originally? I am a student at the University of Bath, but I was born in Luton in Bedfordshire, and when I started secondary school, so at the age of 12, I moved to Leigh-on-Sea, which is in Essex. And yeah, I've always lived in England. I was born in England. And that's that. Now I'm living in Paris, but only for 6 months for a semester for my university exchange. So that's where I'm from. Is living in Paris what you imagined it would be? And basically my answer to that is yes, Paris is very magical. I thought that it was over-romanticised and that I'd come and maybe it wouldn't meet all my expectations. But honestly, all of the cliches are true. I say this when I walk around the city with my friends. We have a game we play, for example, where whenever we see someone wearing a stripy top or a stripy jumper, like the classic French striped jumper, we always point it out as stripes, because it's surprising how many people you see that actually wear them. Obviously not everyone's walking around with garlic and berets or whatever. Mostly the berets are worn by tourists. I confess I'm one of those people who wears berets, but the stripes are a true cliche. The music, there are so many people that you cross on the streets playing accordion music, mostly accordion, but also sometimes violin and things like that, jazz bands, brass bands, and it just really adds to that atmosphere because it's just so magical to be walking around and hear the music, and it's literally like Paris out of the films. The baguette thing is true. You will see Parisians queuing up 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner, to buy baguettes. And I say baguettes plural. They will leave with multiple sticking out of their bags, and they have an obsession with baguettes. But it's no surprise, they're so delicious here. Can't compare to bread anywhere else in the world. So that's true. And just in general, living here has surpassed my expectations. The amount of cultural things there are to do in Paris is endless. I'm never bored here. There's always a new museum to visit, I was about to say exposition, that's the French word, a new exhibition that's opened up to go and visit. There's always something to do. And I didn't realise that side of Paris because I've, as a tourist, visited other places before, but you know, after a certain point you see everything and you're done. Whereas here, even after, you know, so many months of being here, I still have so much to see, and I probably won't see everything before I leave. So that side is something that I really enjoy as well. And yeah, just Paris is a magical place, the city of love. Another thing that I find incredible is that they have groups of dancers who meet up. So for example, once I went for a walk by the Seine in the evening, the Eiffel Tower was all sparkly and lit up, and they had like tango music playing, and they had a group who'd met up, and under the moonlight, you know, right by the Seine, they were just tangoing, and it was beautiful. Paris really is an incredible city, and I'm so happy to have been able to live here for 6 months because, you know, I got an insight into what it's like to not just visit and pass through Paris, but to really live here, and the magic doesn't really wear off. So yeah, it's left a, you know, it's really left an impression on me. Okay, the next question is, how do you find living abroad alone? I'm quite an introvert, very much an introvert. So for me, living alone has never bothered me. I kind of like having my own space, and if I want to meet up with people, I can always go out and meet them at a museum or go for a coffee or for a walk or whatever, lunch. But I like to come back, have my own space, and I don't know if that sounds bad, but be alone. I need the downtime and the time to myself, and I'm the kind of person who never gets bored anyway. I mean, I'm very busy with uni work, but if I do have free time, I'm not just going to sit there twiddling my thumbs or scrolling endlessly on social media. I like to paint, I like to read, I like to scrapbook, journal, play my instruments. So there's always something that I'm doing, so it's not that I'm bored when I'm alone. But that being said, it's been a long time since I've seen my family. Because of COVID, travel is not that easy nowadays, so I haven't seen them since August when I came here. My mum and sister dropped me here, and they stayed for 2 weeks to take advantage of my apartment, have a little holiday, sightsee a bit, and since then I haven't seen them. And I'm not going to see them until February when I go back home, because it's just not possible to travel for us. So it's a long time, the longest I've been away from my family, and I do miss them very much. But you know, it's worth it for the experience of being here, and I'll have a lot to tell them when I see them again. And I do FaceTime them regularly, so it's not that I'm completely cut off from them. I'm still basically talking to them every day. But yes, it is hard living alone. Now, is the French language hard? I mean, I've been studying French at school for a long time. I did GCSE and A-level French, so I feel in that sense I was prepared, but obviously nothing can prepare you for 100% immersing yourself in a language, because, you know, there's the difference between studying, knowing the grammar and knowing, you know, a good amount of vocabulary and actually spontaneously speaking. And at first my confidence was not very great, so I came and I'd know things, and if I had a conversation with someone spontaneously, I would be able to think of what to say, but then afterwards I'd think, oh, but you know how to say all of these things, you just were scared, and on the spot, you know, all of the language left your head. But after being here for so long, you know, it comes a lot more naturally now, and I think it's greatly improved my French levels living here. So if anyone is considering doing the exchange to improve their language or something, I would highly recommend it, because it is the best way to learn a language, to be living in the country, you know, to listen to the music, watch TV in that language, talk to people in that language all the time. It's the only way to really get to grips with the language, and yeah, I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to come and improve my French. Okay, next question. What's your favourite museum in Paris and why? That's a difficult one, because like I just said, there's so many, and I can see there's lots of questions about what's your favourite, and for me, I'm a very indecisive person, so it's hard for me to choose favourites. I really liked the Musée Jacques-Marc-André, the one that I went to when I went to the Botticelli exhibition. I've done a video on that, so if you want to see what the museum's like, go and watch that video. But the museum was beautiful because it wasn't just a random museum, it was in a house. So it's the house of the people who used to live there. Jacques-Marc-André is the surname. And it's basically just a display of their art, and they have temporary exhibitions as well, like the Botticelli one. But I like the fact that it's not just, you know, in plain white rooms or something. The art is in a house, which is a piece of art in its own right. It's a beautiful house, a mansion, and the rooms are incredible, and I really enjoyed my visit there, so I'd probably say that one was my favourite. Also because it's a lesser known museum, it's not, you know, overcrowded with tourists or anything. It's one that not many people know about, a bit off the beaten track, but definitely one worth visiting, so write that down, add it to your list now. That's probably my favourite museum in Paris. Okay, next question. What's your favourite food spot in Paris? Okay, that is a hard one, because Paris, or France in general, is renowned for its food, its incredible quality and reputation for food. And I'm a real foodie, I love food. And for me, a hard thing about living here is just the temptation. Every time I go out and pass a bakery, I just want to go and buy all of the pastries and try everything. So I'm probably going to come back home a size bigger than I left, but it's fine, I can worry about dieting when I get back home. For now, sorry about the traffic. I live next to a busy road, it's always loud here. But, what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought now. Oh yeah, I'm just enjoying being here while I am here, knowing that I've got a limited amount of time. So I'm just enjoying the food. My favourite food place, I still haven't answered the question. My favourite bakery is probably Le Pain Retrouvé, which is on Rue des Martyrs. They have incredible quality of pastries, and that's where I go most of the time to buy my bread and croissants and things, because it's just so good. They also do really good quiches. And in terms of like a restaurant or something, I haven't really been out to restaurants that much because student budget doesn't allow it, but I have been to this crepe place that's called, let me have a check what it's called. I think it's called La Crème de Paris. Yeah, La Crème de Paris, and it's a crepe place that's right next to the Notre Dame Cathedral, and with a view over the river and the cathedral, and it has really good crepes at not a bad price. So that's somewhere I'd recommend going to if you're looking for somewhere to eat. Also, La Mère Catherine, which is a bistro that's on Place du Tertre. So it's got a really beautiful location. You can sit outside and watch the artists painting. It's got a lovely atmosphere, and they do traditional French food. So I went there to try like snails and frog's legs, you know, just cliche French foods that, you know, I wanted to taste what they're like. So that's a good place if you're coming to Paris and want to try something traditional local in a beautiful atmosphere with beautiful view. And again, not too bad price. So those are the places I would recommend. Obviously, I've been to the famous cafes, like the literary cafes, like Café de Flore and what's the other one called? Les Deux Magots, but they're really expensive. So it's another one that's kind of like, is good for the experience, but I wouldn't say it's that worth it. Not like Angelina, which is expensive, but you can tell why as soon as you step through the front door. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Okay, someone asked, what makeup products do you use, especially lipsticks? You look amazing in your videos. Thank you so much, that's so kind. It's funny you asked that because I don't consider myself to be very good at makeup. I only started wearing makeup when I started uni. Before I never wore makeup. And yeah, when I started uni I started to wear mascara and lip gloss or lipstick, and that's it. Sometimes I put eyeshadow on if I want to feel a little bit more special, but I don't really wear much makeup and I don't consider myself to be very good. But in terms of lipsticks, actually I'll go and get some lipsticks to show you my favourite ones. It's easier that way. Okay, so I have my makeup bag and my favourite lipsticks. I love the brand Kiko Milano. I've got 2 lip glosses from there, which I love the shape of the containers. You can kind of see the colours I always go for. It's kind of a plum-ish colour, I don't know, kind of nudie pink. I don't know how to describe it. The shades that I have a number 22 and number 16, if that means anything to you. But I love them because Kiko Milano is a very cheap brand and it's got good quality products. And yeah, these are the kind of colours I go for normally. In terms of lipsticks from Kiko Milano, I have this lipstick which I got on sale. It's like one of the Christmas editions, but I got it during the summer. And the colour is Holiday Gems number 4. So this one's a bit of a darker one, and I like darker colours in the autumn like this. It's kind of like a dark nudie. I'm so bad at makeup, I have no clue how to describe it. Yeah, this one's a matte lipstick, and I like this one. Like I said, in the autumn it's quite nice to have a bold colour like this. And well, sometimes in the summer as well if you're going for a bolder look. And I also have one that I really love from Kiko Milano because I can't find it. I should have prepared this in advance because I'm just going to be shuffling through my makeup bag. Oh yeah, this one. This one is like one of those natural ingredient ones, which is why it's in like a green package. It's Green Me lipstick number 102, sorry. And it's again a similar colour. All of them are a similar colour really. But this one is made with like almond oil and natural extracts. It's supposed to be better for you and better for the environment than other lipsticks. And again, it was inexpensive. Kiko Milano is always inexpensive. And I like this one because it's very matte. Because even the one, this one's called matte, but I feel like it's kind of creamy. But this one is very dry. And with masks, my issue with face masks is if I wear lip gloss or a creamier lipstick, it just smudges all over my face. But this one, it just stays and it doesn't get on the mask and it doesn't mess up your face when you wear a face mask. So I've been wearing this one a lot. And then I also just like MAC lipsticks. I feel like they're a good go-to lipstick. This, the first lipstick I got was from MAC. Yeah, this is my favourite one that I wear the most. Also my mum's favourite one. After I got it, she got it as well because she loved it so much. And it's called Twig. And it's a satin one, so this one is a creamier one. Again, it's, to be honest, they're all the same shade but slightly different. It's just like a plum pink nude combo, but I like that one a lot, Twig. And then one that I also love is Smoked Almond, which is Amplified Creme lipstick apparently. And this one's more of like an orangey tone compared to the others that I have, a bit more natural I think. But when I bought it, they said that they were discontinuing the shade, which is really sad because I love this one. I do wear this one a lot. It's a bit of a brighter orangey, but not as dark as the other ones I have, so it looks more natural. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's the best way I can say it. And those are the lipsticks that I mainly wear. I also have this one from Victoria's Secret, which is a lip gloss, colour gloss, which I like to wear a lot. And I believe that's everything. Oh, another thing that I'll share actually is this, and it's a lip tint, and it's 100% natural, and it uses elderberry pigments, and I use this if I don't really want to wear much makeup, but I just want to add a bit of colour to my lips. And it's natural. It's a bit like a lip gloss, but it's literally just tinted with elderberry pigment, which I think is really cool. 100% natural, moisturising colour tint. So yeah, I really love this. I wear this a lot, just for a natural stain. So that's me trying to explain to you what makeup I use. I hope that helps and that you found that useful. But like I said, I am not an expert at makeup at all. I just kind of wing it and hope it looks alright. Okay, next question. What's your favourite hidden spot in Paris? Ooh, that's a good question. I love the Jardin du Palais Royal, which, I mean, it's not hidden because it's a famous park, but it feels hidden when you're there. And I feel that compared to the other parks, like for example Jardin des Tuileries, always really busy, and Jardin de Luxembourg, always very busy. But Jardin du Palais Royal, I don't find that there are as many tourists there. It's more just locals who go there for a coffee. They have some nice coffees around because it's in, what do you call it, like a courtyard square. It's surrounded by buildings, and it's very peaceful, and it's got beautiful roses. Even now there are still some roses left, and it's November already. They're dying off, but they're still there. And it's very peaceful, and I just love going there to relax, and it's very close to me as well, so it's easy for me to just walk there if I want to get outside for a little bit and feel like I'm escaping the hustle and bustle of the city. What other hidden spots do I like? I like Le Marais, but with that you can't, it's an area in Paris, like a quarter, but you can't really say a specific spot because it's an older area and with more historic streets. It wasn't knocked down by housemen like, you know, the 9th district where I'm living at the moment, near the opera, which is, it used to be historic as well, and they knocked it down and just rebuilt it, which is what we can see today. But Le Marais is an original part of Paris, and it's the kind of place that you just need to go and get lost in its streets because it's got lots of narrow streets with lovely boutiques and small cafes, really inviting bistros, and just go to that area of Paris and just get lost in the streets. That's what I would recommend doing if you want a little bit of a different experience off the beaten track. I love that area. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say for that question. How do you find the French architecture course experience, I suppose, like relative to studying at Bath? I feel like at Bath it was very much orientated around the project. So all of the course, all of the work you do is just around the project. You have other lectures, but you have to do any work with them really until the final assessment at the end of the semester. Whereas here, I think it's a lot more balanced. So with all of my other units, I constantly have assignments I need to do for them as well, whether that's essays or group presentations. I'm preparing for research projects. With, for example, renovation of old buildings, I'm having to research renovating acoustics as my personal project as a pair, and other people have to do like thermal, fire safety, all different sorts of things. And this Thursday I have a presentation on that, so I've been doing lots of work on that. And then what else? Oh yeah, I've had to read a book for my Heritage and Change unit and write an essay on that, and that's not actually the final assessment, it's just work throughout the year, which I didn't have to do at Bath. It was just work on the project. But that being said, the project was much faster paced, so you'd have like between 4 to 6 weeks per project, and you'd go from like straight away, as soon as you start, you'd be making models, planning, designing. Whereas here, a lot of it is theory so far, and we've started designing recently, but it's been a lot of analysing and researching precedents, like past examples that are relevant to the project. And because my project is turning an existing abandoned office building into a housing scheme, like a social housing scheme, a lot of it has been just analysing the existing building. So we have one project for the whole semester, and it's, yeah, you have a lot more time to work on it. It's a lot slower paced, so that's probably why the other units are a bit more intense. But in terms of the actual stuff we learn. I feel like the content's quite similar. In history and 20th century architecture, the history that we were learning, and then in environments it was learning about, you know, just environmental design and architecture, same thing as what I've been doing at Bath. So I feel like there's a lot of crossovers, but in general I think the content's quite similar. The style of teaching is quite similar. It's just in French. And like I said, the project is kind of different. I think that Bath is also a lot more computer oriented, so everything is done online drawings, Photoshop, really high tech way of working, whereas here they prefer everything to be done by hand. They prefer if people hand draw the plans and elevations and whatever, and they try to steer away from the computer a bit more. I mean, maybe that's just the teachers who are leading my project that are like that, because obviously it's very dependent on the tutors, but that's the experience I've had. And they do like hand-drawn perspectives, watercolours if you like. I like to work in watercolours, that's what I normally use, so that aspect is a bit different as well. Okay, next question. What is your favourite architectural piece in Paris? That's a hard one because there's so much beautiful architecture in Paris. That's another good thing about living here and studying architecture. There's lots of crossovers, and for example, my renovation of old buildings unit, we've been studying the different periods of architecture that you can see around Paris, and one of our projects was to date buildings. So we had to go around, walk around Paris and find about 3 buildings per period. And that might sound easy, but it's actually really hard. There are some periods like Middle Ages or Art Nouveau that are easier, but some like Louis XIV, Louis XV, like Louis XIV, Louis XV, etc. That are quite similar and crossover in many ways, and even buildings from that period won't necessarily display all the characteristics. It's really hard to find them for each period, but it was fun. And it's interesting to be somewhere where you can see in front of you everything you're learning about, you know. Even with the social housing schemes, we had a semaine transversale, which is like a crossover week, which is this week, and Wednesday and Thursday we had trip days where we just went and we had to go and visit loads of different social housing schemes more on the outskirts of Paris. But it's just, like I said, everything is around us. What I'm learning about, I can see. It's not just theory, it's, you know, right in front of me. So that's something I love about living here. And anyway, going back to the question, my favourite architectural pieces are probably, I love the Opéra Garnier, the opera house, which is very close to where I live. So I pass it regularly and it is incredible. Tourists can visit inside. I would love to go to a show there to see a ballet or an opera, but the tickets are like a couple of £100, so euros. But so I probably won't be able to because I can't afford it with my student budget. But I visited as a tourist. You can buy a ticket to just look around, and it is just, you have to go. It's beautiful, really incredible building. Oh, I also love the Sacré-Cœur because it's very different in terms of a basilica. I've never seen anything like it, and it is really moving when you go inside. And the view from there is the best. So I really love the Sacré-Cœur. I haven't been able to go inside the Notre Dame because obviously the fire is under construction and everything. I've seen it from outside, and it has been interesting to see the work that's going on in it, considering, you know, this is my field of study, to see how they're approaching the renovation and to watch the progress. But I can't really say if it's my favourite or not because I haven't been able to go inside, and it's covered with scaffolding, so I can't see it properly, which is a shame. But like I said, at least there's the learning side of it, that I can see what's happening as they renovate. And the final question, room tour. Okay, I'm not going to give a room tour now because it's kind of dark, so you won't see anything. It's only 2:40, but it is really dark and cloudy today, so you won't see anything in my room if I try to show you. But I'm going to do a room tour soon because I'm in the middle of filming a video where I'm decorating my apartment for Christmas, it's called. So you'll see my room then. So just watch out for that video when it comes out. And that's all the questions. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to me answering your questions and that you were able to learn a bit more about me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like it and subscribe to my channel to join me on more adventures around Paris. And let me know if you like the Q&A. Maybe, you know, I can ask again for you guys to send me questions in the future videos. I can answer a bit more. But thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you next time. Bye.